Conservative new media viewers, NBA fans around the world, Los Angeles Lakers fans around the world. We're here to tell you that after the Lakers were beaten tonight, 111-77 in game number 14 of their 2015-16 regular season, it was reported that, quote-unquote, several Warriors players were shocked at how far Kobe has fallen, unquote. So, not only was Kobe the number one Twitter trending topic tonight because he shot just 1 of 14 from the field for only 4 points, and many fans around the nation and around the world saw this because it was broadcast tonight on TNT television. But apparently the players themselves, the competitors, the fellow competitors of Kobe Bryant, are kind of privately discussing this amongst themselves. The players in this were not named, so I'm sure they would want to stay anonymous. We don't know who is being discussed here, but I guess this kind of validates what many people are seeing with their own eyes. Now, I know from reading different message boards around the internet, there are people who feel that Kobe's just in a slump right now, or that he's rusty from the time off. Of course, he had to rehabilitate a torn rotator cuff surgery for that, which he received, and that did keep him off the court for a very long time. But what it seems like to me from watching this situation and watching Kobe over the last several years is that he's just doesn't look like the same player that he used to be after the Achilles tendon injury and surgery. This is a common thing that's been observed of different NBA players who have suffered that same injury. The person that's often used as a comparison is Wilkins. Dominique came back after the surgery, had an all-star year, and was amazing. But I think a couple years after that, he had started to fade. And even though he played well when he came back from the surgery, his game was different. He used to be much more explosive and drive into the basket. Afterwards, he became more of a three-point shooter, which I think is what Kobe is trying to do, but he's not having success with it. His three-point percentage coming into tonight's game was just 20%. Now, this brings up all kinds of other discussions. One thing I also want to mention is that Nick Young, in his own post-game comments tonight, apparently kind of called out Kobe Bryant without mentioning him by name. Nick said something to the effect of, "We can't base our whole system around one person," or something like that. I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but he said that, and he also said something else that seemed to be a shot at Kobe Bryant, or something like that, kind of calling Kobe out without mentioning him by name. So, what we have to be honest about in observing all of this is that there are players who are older than Kobe and were older than Kobe who were able to play at a higher level than he's playing at currently. The two players that are currently in the league that I think of right now that are playing at a high level who are older than Kobe are Dirk Nowitzki, who is also 37 years old, but he's a few months older than Kobe is, and of course the longtime nemesis of Kobe, I guess you could say, Tim Duncan. And going back to Michael Jordan with the Washington Wizards. Michael Jordan with the Washington Wizards was a better player than Kobe Bryant is now. Just to give you an idea of what Jordan's averages for his 2 years with the Wizards were about 21 points per game and, I don't know, maybe around 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Or I'll take that back, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I looked at the numbers recently. And his PER, kind of like just a snapshot statistic of how he performed, was about 20. Kobe's PER coming into tonight's game is about 12, and a higher number is better. Kobe came into tonight's game shooting 33% from the field, including 20% from three-point range. Jordan, I want to say, with the Wizards, shot about 43%, and that's part of the reason why his PER number is higher than what Kobe's is currently. So these players were older than Kobe, but Jordan had less mileage on his legs. Dirk has a little bit less mileage on his legs than Kobe does. Tim Duncan has about the same mileage on his legs as Kobe does. Tim's the exception. Tim's kind of in the Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar mode, which is two players who had significantly more mileage than Kobe does right now and were still able to play at a pretty high level even when they got past the mileage mark in terms of career minutes in which Kobe is at currently. So, how does this affect things? How does this affect Kobe's legacy? Is this going to change how people see him? What does this mean in comparison to players like LeBron James, who Kobe's often compared with, and so forth? Well, look, I mean, this is happening. I mean, it's taking place. It's real. Kobe did not decide to retire a couple years ago, and so we've had to witness this level of play since the Achilles injury. The Achilles injury took place in 2012, 2013. Took place on April 2013. So this is the third season in which Kobe has played since that injury. And so it's part of his profile, the same way that Willie Mays stumbling in the outfield at the end of his career is part of Willie Mays' resume. However, I think as time goes on, people will forget this part of Kobe's career more and more, and we'll just kind of remember the 5 titles and the 2 finals MVPs and the regular season MVP, the 32,000 plus points and so forth. I think this will come into play, however, with more serious NBA historians or aficionados, is when you do get into player-by-player comparisons. When you do compare Kobe with Jordan, when you do compare Kobe with Duncan, when you do compare Kobe with LeBron. For all we know, LeBron could end up just like this 7 years from now if he's playing in his 20th season. We have to see. But certainly Duncan is going to look better in comparison with Kobe at the same age or around the same number of seasons. Duncan has played one fewer season than has Kobe Bryant currently. Kobe's 20th season, Duncan's in his 19th season. Dirk Nowitzki, I don't know how much Dirk's going to be compared to Kobe, although I do think Dirk has a good chance to pass 30,000 career points, so there is that. Kobe's often compared to Michael Jordan. Certainly, Jordan does look better at the older age, but as we said, Jordan did have fewer minutes, less mileage on his legs when he played with the Wizards than Kobe does right now. So that's kind of it. We just want to give you our take, give you the news here. The Warrior players, unnamed Warrior players, are quote-unquote shocked at how far Kobe Bryant has fallen. I don't think Kobe will retire during the season. I think he's going to try to stick it out. This is the last year of his contract extension. He's making something like $25 million a year or whatever it is. Kobe's not a guy that's just going to quit when the chips are down. I think he will see out the season, whatever happens for him, even if it continues the way it is right now. I do think this will be his final year. I don't think he wants to go through any more of this, and I am of the belief that his legs just aren't the same as they used to be. I don't think it's a rust issue. I don't think it's a slump. I do think he'll shoot better. I think he will improve because he was away from the court a long time, but I think more of what you're seeing now is just the after effects of the Achilles injury combined with the mileage which Kobe has on his legs. Okay, that's it for now. Take care. Your comments below. Thumbs up, thumbs down. We'll talk to you again soon.